You are here because you are searching for something. You are looking for a way to build what people call mental strength and confidence. These are popular words. Many people speak about them with great emotion. They will tell you to just believe in yourself, to be fearless, to crush your doubts. This is, with all due respect, a flawed approach. It is like telling a ship captain to simply sail harder through a storm without giving them a map, a compass, or an understanding of naval engineering. Emotion is the wind. It can be powerful, but it is unpredictable. Without a rudder and a keel, without a system, you are simply at the mercy of the weather. Today, we will not talk about shouting affirmations in the mirror. We will not focus on temporary motivational highs. Instead, we will do something far more practical and therefore far more powerful. We will become architects. We will become engineers of our own internal world. Our objective is to understand the mechanisms of confidence and the structure of mental strength. Confidence is not a magical feeling you must wait for. It is an emergent property of a well-designed system. It is the natural output of a logical process correctly and consistently applied. Mental strength is not the absence of difficulty. It is the structural integrity to withstand pressure and adapt. So, let us begin this work together. I ask that you listen not just with your ears, but with your analytical mind. The goal is not for you to be impressed by me, but for you to be empowered by a profound and lasting clarity about yourself. This is your game plan. First, we must understand the territory we are working in. Your mind is not a single, unified entity. To command it, you must first understand its components. Think of it as a complex organization with two primary divisions. There is the architect. This is the part of you that is listening to me right now. It is your conscious mind, your strategic self. It can reason, it can plan, it can set long-term goals. It is the CEO, the chief architect. It is logical, but it has limited energy. It cannot and should not manage every single small operation. Then there are the automated systems. This is the vast majority of your mental operation. It is your subconscious, your habits, your ingrained beliefs, your immediate emotional reactions. This division is like a massive factory floor running 24 hours a day. It is incredibly powerful and efficient at running its existing programs. It does not use logic. It uses pattern recognition and repetition. Your fear of public speaking is a program. Your instinct to check your phone is a program. Your belief about what you do or do not deserve is a program. The fundamental mistake most people make is that their architect tries to fight the automated systems with willpower. The CEO runs down to the factory floor and yells at a machine that has been running the same program for 20 years. The CEO may win for a moment, an hour, even a day, but the CEO gets tired. The architect has other things to do. Eventually, the architect leaves and the old, efficient, automated program resumes. Does this sound familiar? This is the cycle of failed New Year's resolutions. It is the frustration of knowing what you should do, but finding yourself unable to do it consistently. So, here is our first crucial insight. Your primary role is not to be a micromanager, but to be the chief architect and systems engineer. Your job is not to fight the automation. Your job is to design and upgrade the automation. You use the focused, strategic energy of the architect to write new, better programs for the automated systems to run. Over time, you systematically replace faulty, inefficient code with code that serves your ultimate purpose. This is the foundation of our entire strategy. We do not wage war on ourselves. We re-engineer the system. Before we proceed, I want you to consider a question, not an emotional one, but a diagnostic one. If you were to conduct an audit of your own mental factory today, what are the top 3 automated programs that consume the most energy and produce the least desirable results? Do not judge them. Simply identify them as an engineer would identify a point of inefficiency in a system. What are they? This act of calm, objective observation is your first step as the architect. Now that we have a map of the territory, let us examine the challenge itself. Lack of confidence and mental fragility are not random occurrences. They are symptoms of specific structural flaws in your system. We must identify these flaws with the precision of a structural engineer examining a building that is showing cracks. Where do these cracks, these feelings of doubt, fear, and insecurity come from? My observation is that they are primarily supported by 3 faulty load-bearing walls. In any venture, business, technology, life, you will have outcomes that do not match your initial expectations. The world calls this failure. This word is heavy. It is emotional. It is a judgment. A strategic thinker, an engineer, does not use this word. They use a different one, data. When Alibaba was starting, we were rejected by dozens of investors. When I applied to Harvard, I was rejected 10 times. Was this failure? If I define it as such, it becomes a heavy weight. It becomes a story about my inadequacy. But if I define it as data, the question changes. The data point says this approach with this audience at this time did not produce the desired result. This is a profoundly different conclusion. It is not about you. It is about the approach. It provides information to iterate and formulate a new hypothesis. Your lack of confidence is often a direct result of interpreting data as a judgment on your self-worth. It is a bug in the code. The program reads, if outcome equals expected, then self-worth equals 0. This is a catastrophic error. Our job is to rewrite that code. Your mind, particularly its automated systems, is designed to understand your position relative to others. This was useful in a small village of 150 people. It is deeply malfunctioning in a globally connected world of 8 billion people, where you are constantly shown a curated highlight reel of everyone else's wins, using the outside world as your primary metric for success. Is like a company trying to set its internal strategy by only looking at the marketing brochures of its competitors. You see their final polished product, but you do not see their R&D budget, their internal struggles, their product recalls, their unhappy employees. It is an incomplete and misleading picture. True confidence cannot be built on a foundation of relative comparison, because the target is always moving and the data is always flawed. It is a game you are structurally guaranteed to lose. The third faulty wall is the overestimation of social and professional risk. Your ancient automated systems are programmed to believe that social rejection is equivalent to death. If the tribe casts you out, you will not survive. This programming is powerful, but it is outdated. Today, you may pitch an idea and have it rejected. You may speak in a meeting and have someone disagree. You may launch a project that no one notices. Your mind's threat assessment program screams, red alert, social extinction imminent. But what is the actual, tangible, real-world consequence? Is your physical safety at risk? Is your access to food and shelter gone? In 99% of modern cases, the answer is no. The consequences are a temporary discomfort, a piece of feedback, a data point. The perceived threat is a tiger. The actual threat is a house cat. This discrepancy between the perceived threat and the actual threat creates a constant, low grade anxiety that erodes your willingness to take intelligent risks. So, the second critical insight is this: self-doubt is not a feeling to be overcome. It is the logical output of a system running on faulty data and flawed assumptions. To dismantle the doubt, you must correct the underlying logic. Here is your next analytical task. Think of a specific goal you have been hesitant to pursue. Now, analyze that hesitation through this framework. Which of these three walls is the primary support for it? Are you misinterpreting past data as failure? Are you using a flawed comparison metric? Or are you running an inaccurate threat assessment? Identify the specific, faulty logic. Naming it is the first step to rewriting it. Understanding the problem is essential, but it is not sufficient. Now, we formulate the strategy for building a new system. When we built Alibaba, we did not have a perfect plan from day one, but we had a core philosophy, a model for how to build a robust, scalable, and adaptive ecosystem. We can apply the same model to the architecture of your mind. A business ecosystem and a mental ecosystem share similar principles. They must be resilient, they must create value, and they must be able to grow and adapt over time. Our strategy is built on 3 pillars, just like a technology platform. No company, no system can survive without a clear mission. Not a vague goal like be happy or be successful. A mission is a statement of purpose and principle. It is your North Star. It is the core document that guides all strategic decisions. Your mission document should answer 3 questions. What problem do I want to solve? This focuses you outward. It can be a small or large problem, helping your family navigate financial stress, creating more efficient processes in your workplace, bringing a new idea to your community. A focus on solving a problem for others is the fastest antidote to self-obsession. What are my core operating principles? These are your non-negotiables. For me, it was always customer first, employees second, shareholders third. For you, it might be learn something new every day, leave every interaction better than I found it, prioritize long-term integrity over short-term gain. These principles simplify decision-making under pressure. How will I measure progress? No, I did not say measure success, progress. The metrics should be within your control. Not get the promotion, but master a new skill required for the promotion. Not make $1 million, but execute my financial plan with discipline every month. This document, reviewed regularly, becomes the master program for your architect. It provides the logic to write all other subroutines. Confidence is not a gift, it is earned. It is the dividend paid by competence and contribution. An ecosystem thrives only when its participants are engaged in a fair value exchange. Your mental ecosystem is no different. You must move from being a passive consumer of validation to an active creator of value. This is your value exchange. Ledger. It is a simple accounting of what you give and what you get. I want you to deliberately, strategically find ways to be useful. This is not about being a martyr. It is about understanding a fundamental market dynamic. The more value you provide to your employer, your customers, your family, your community, the more indispensable you become. Competence breeds confidence. Contribution dissolves insecurity. When you know with certainty that you bring tangible value, the opinions of others become what they are, data points, not verdicts. You are an asset. You have a healthy balance sheet. Pillar 3, the iteration. Protocol, the compounding effect. No great platform is built in a day. The first version of any software is always clumsy. The first business plan is always wrong. The desire for perfection from the start is the enemy of progress. You must build an iteration protocol into your system. This is a formal commitment to small, consistent, incremental improvements. The principle of compounding effect is the most powerful force in the universe. Small gains, repeated consistently over time, led to exponential results. Do not try to overhaul your entire life tomorrow. This is a recipe for system failure. Instead, identify one small process you want to improve, one new skill, one healthier habit, and commit to a 1% improvement every day. The process is build a small thing, test it, get data, improve it, repeat. This approach does an extraordinary thing to your psychology. It shifts the focus from the massive, intimidating final goal to the small, manageable, immediate next step. And by completing that small step, you get a small deposit of earned confidence. That deposit funds the next step. This is how you bootstrap your way to unshakable self-belief. Your strategic action plan begins here. First, draft your mission document. 1 page is enough. Second, identify one specific way you will deliberately increase the value you provide this week. Third, choose one and only one area for your iteration protocol. Define the 1% improvement you will make tomorrow. This is the blueprint. A strategy is only as good as its execution. An architect's blueprint is useless without a builder's tools. Now, we equip you with the practical, logical tools to implement the strategy we have just formulated. These are not emotional tricks. They are simple, powerful algorithms for your mind. This tool is for installing new programs in your automated systems. It is based on a simple computer programming structure. If X happens, then I will do Y. This is called an implementation intention. Research shows it dramatically increases the probability of following through on a goal. It works because it loads a decision. It gives your automated systems a clear, simple instruction to follow, removing the need for the architect to expend willpower in the moment. Do not say, I will exercise more. This is a vague objective. Instead, program it. If it is 7 o'clock a.m. on a weekday, then I will put on my running shoes and go outside for 15 minutes. Do not say, I will not get distracted. Instead, program it. If I sit down at my desk to work, then I will put my phone in a different room for the next 45 minutes. Do not say, I want to be more confident in meetings. Instead, program it. If I am in a team meeting and I have an idea, then I will state it clearly, beginning with the phrase, here is one way to look at it. This is how you write code for your mind. It is precise. It is unambiguous. It is actionable. We discussed reframing failure as data. This tool operationalizes that concept. When you receive a rejection or experience a setback, Do not allow your automated emotional programs to run wild. Activate the architect and run this formal protocol. Take out a piece of paper or open a document and answer these 3 questions. The factual summary: what happened, described without emotion or judgment. For example, I presented the proposal for Project X. The committee decided not to fund it at this time. The hypothesis analysis: what was my underlying assumption or approach? For example, my hypothesis was that emphasizing the cost-saving aspect would be the most persuasive point. The new data required: what information does this outcome provide? What did the committee seem to value instead? What can I learn from this? For example, the data suggests the committee is currently more concerned with speed of implementation than cost savings. For the next proposal, the primary hypothesis should be built around a rapid deployment strategy. This protocol transforms a painful emotional event into a valuable strategic debriefing. It builds a different kind of mental muscle, resilience based on learning, not just endurance. It is the core of an anti-fragile system. Your internal system is profoundly influenced by your external environment. An intelligent engineer does not just design the machine, they design the factory in which the machine operates. You must do the same. Your environment, physical and digital, is either helping you run your desired programs or actively encouraging your old, faulty ones. You must consciously curate it. Your digital environment: who do you follow online? Does their content serve your mission document, or does it activate flawed comparison metrics? Unfollow, mute, or block ruthlessly. Your attention is your most valuable currency. Do not give it to things that make you weaker. Curate your inputs as: if you are training a sophisticated eye because you are your physical environment, does your workspace make focus easy or difficult? Is healthy food more accessible than junk food? Small environmental frictions or advantages have a massive compounding effect on your automated behaviors. Remove the friction for good habits. Add friction for bad ones. Your social environment: the people you spend time with are part of your environment. Do they operate on principles you respect? Do conversations leave you energized and focused, or drained and doubtful? You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Choose your board of directors wisely. Your task is to use these tools. First, write one if-then algorithm for a behavior you want to install this week. Second, apply the rejection as data protocol to one past setback, no matter how small. See how it changes your perspective. Third, identify one change you can make to your digital, physical, or social environment by tomorrow. Execute it. No plan, no matter how brilliant, survives first contact with reality without adjustments. A smart strategist does not hope for a smooth journey. They anticipate the points of friction and plan for them. When you begin to re-engineer your mental system, you will face predictable obstacles. Let's analyze them now so you can navigate them effectively when they appear. When you start to replace an old habit, the old automated system often panics. It increases its intensity in a desperate attempt to get you to return to the old, familiar behavior. If you suddenly stop checking your phone for validation, you will feel an almost unbearable urge to do so. If you stop reacting emotionally to criticism, you may feel a wave of anger or fear more intense than before. This is called an extinction burst. Most people misinterpret this. They think this is too hard. The new way isn't working. The old urge is stronger than ever. They see it as a sign of failure. This is incorrect. An extinction burst is a sign of success. It is proof that the old program is being starved of its resources and is fighting for its life. It is a predictable signal that you are on the verge of a breakthrough. When you feel it, your instruction is simple. Recognize it for what it is. Do not give in and stay the course. The architect must calmly observe the factory floor rebellion, knowing it is the last gasp of an old regime. There is a period in any new endeavor where you are doing the right things, but you are not yet seeing the results. You are eating well, but the scale hasn't moved. You are practicing the skill, but you still feel clumsy. You are providing value, but the recognition has not arrived. This is the plateau of latent potential. It is the most dangerous phase because your effort seems to be for nothing. It is like a bamboo tree, which for the first 4 years shows no visible growth above the ground. It is building a massive, complex root system. Then, in its 5th year, it grows 80 feet in 6 weeks, your confidence will be tested on this plateau. Your brain's automated systems want immediate rewards. When they don't get them, they signal to stop the effort. This is where your architect must rely on the mission document and trust the logic of the process. You must fall in love with the process itself, not the immediate outcome. You are building the root system. Trust that the growth is happening unseen. The results will come, and when they do, they will come rapidly. As you progress, the system can feel complex. You have your mission, your ledgers, your protocols. You might feel overwhelmed, as if you have too many things to manage. This is a sign that your architect is trying to do too much at once. The solution is to use a technique that we use in managing complex projects. Zoom out, zoom in, zoom out, reread your mission document. Reconnect with your why. Remind yourself of the long-term vision and the core principles. This provides context and purpose. Zoom in. After reconnecting with the big picture, immediately ignore it. Focus only on the absolute next single logical step, not the next 10 steps. The next one. What is the one if then behavior for today? What is the 1% improvement? Confidence is built at the zoom in level. Purpose is maintained at the zoom out level. The ability to shift between these two altitudes is a critical skill for any leader of a company or of a self. When you encounter one of these obstacles, do not be discouraged. They are not signs that your plan is failing. They are predictable stages of a successful system upgrade. Your job is to identify the stage you are in and apply the correct navigation strategy. We have covered a great deal of ground. We began by reframing our objective, not to chase a feeling, but to build a system. We mapped the territory, understanding the distinct roles of the strategic architect and the powerful automated systems. We analyzed the challenge, seeing that doubt is not a mystical force, but the result of faulty logic in our internal code, misinterpreting data, using flawed metrics, and inaccurately assessing threats. We then formulated a robust 3-pillar strategy modeled on a scalable ecosystem. A clear mission document to guide us, a value exchange ledger to earn our confidence, and an iteration protocol to ensure continuous, compounding growth. Finally, we equipped ourselves with an engineer's toolkit, if-then algorithms, the rejection as data protocol and controlled environment design, and we anticipated the predictable obstacles of the journey. I have a famous saying that people often quote: "Today is cruel, tomorrow is crueler, and the day after tomorrow is beautiful." Most people think this is a statement about endurance, about gritting your teeth and surviving. It is not. It is a statement about strategy. Today is cruel because you are operating on your old, faulty system. It is inefficient and painful. Tomorrow is crueler because you are in the middle of the re-engineering process. You are on the plateau of latent potential. You are fighting the extinction burst. You are doing the hard work of building the root system, and the world has not yet rewarded you for it. This is the hardest day, but if you have a sound strategy, if you trust your mission document, if you use your tools, if you navigate the obstacles with understanding, you will reach the day after tomorrow, and the day after tomorrow is beautiful. Not because the problems disappear. Problems never disappear. It is beautiful because you have a new system. It is beautiful because you have a quiet, unshakable confidence that is no longer dependent on outside praise or immediate results. It is a confidence born of a deep, structural integrity. It is the calm certainty of the architect who walks through the skyscraper they designed, feeling the strength of the foundation beneath their feet. They are not afraid of the wind because they understand the principles by which the structure was built. This is the confidence that is now available to you. It is not a gift I can give you. It is a structure you must build. You have the blueprint. You have the tools. You have the strategy. Your work begins now, not with a grand emotional gesture, but with a single, calm, logical step. Begin the audit. Define the first principle. Lay the first, small brick. The system is yours to build.